In celebration of the 2015 National Ag Day, Agri-Pulse hosted a panel discussion on farm-to-fork politics moderated by editor Sarah Wyant. Panelists were experts in agricultural production, policy, science, and education from across the country. Here now are highlights from the 5th annual Agri-Pulse Ag Day kickoff event.
The activist community is excellent at taking their thoughts and digesting them down to a bumper sticker that sounds reasonable until you start looking at the science, and it's not reasonable at all. So there's a number of ways we need to combat the bad science that's out there. And, you know, it's the old story, follow the money. There's a lot of people make a lot of money scaring people about food.
We can prove that chickens are better off in a confinement area versus one that are cage-free. We get better production, better livability, more eggs, better feed conversion, standability, everything is better, but yet our cage-free production demand is just going through the roof. The consumer just wants that cage-free chicken because they just think they're better off. So there's a real disconnect between science and perception. We're proud of what we're doing. We're proud of the space that we're giving our chickens, and but it is a really tough message to get out there, because the fact is that they still think those chickens should be able to be free running, whether it's in your backyard or down the street. I'm not quite sure where it's at, but it is really a difficult issue when you get the different activist groups that are out there preaching their message to get it across. But it's something that we need to be more proactive and promote our practices and open up the door and let reporters come, let people come and see what you're doing. That's the best way that I know how to get our message out.
Some of the perception that's out there is being driven by social media. Social media is being used to drive those perceptions and those false perceptions. I would also add, though, that agriculture generally, food production generally, needs to take back the mantle of being green. And we need to take back the mantle of being environmental stewards and being sustainable. And why ag and food is more sustainable today than it's ever been in our history. And we need to take that environmental green mantle back, because it's been taken away.
It seems that in the U.S. we always have another wave of innovation, and you don't really see hotbeds of innovation that we have in the U.S., whether they come out of agriculture, out of traditional disciplines, or like in the area that I'm working in now in Silicon Valley with digital agriculture and digital technologies. This cycle that we have of federal funding of research that then gets spun off into private companies supported by venture capitalists, eventually usually either growing into big businesses like Google or being taken up by big companies like a Monsanto, and being pushed even further, I think is unique in the world. So I don't worry too much that just because others may adopt our technologies eventually that the U.S. is losing its edge.
The fact of the matter is, Brazil and China are now outspending us on ag investment, on ag R&D, and that's a fact we can't excuse, or we can't not put on the table as well.
Even though I'm working now at sort of the high-tech end of agriculture, where we certainly need to attract and hire software engineers and data scientists, I can tell you at every level of agriculture, it's as much the traditional agricultural sciences, plant pathologists, entomologists, agronomists, soil science is in desperate need, but is a hugely valuable science for us for all the tools that we work with. So I think public research is critical, and even more critical now.
The thing that many people in production agriculture are wrestling with now is some sort of transition program. And it's not because there aren't young people out there wanting to be producers of food. It's because that the capital cost is just, you just can't overcome the capital cost barriers. It's the same thing that happened to, when I was growing up, we had all the mom and pop shoe stores, hardware stores, lumber stores, plumbing shops, and now they're, Hardware Hank, Menards, Home Depot. And what happened was, Ma and Pa had the lumber yard, and they had a couple $100,000 worth of inventory there, but the next generation can't come in and buy that inventory and make a profit. If the inventory is paid for, it's okay. And that's the way farming is today. Farming is about the last bastion of the Ma and Pa business. But it's over the next 10 years, I think a lot of it's going to disappear. And I don't know what the new structure is going to be. The new Menards, McDonald's structure of food production is going to be.
Agriculture's already engaged. The ag community is probably one of the most engaged sectors in public policy that we see here in Washington. But make sure that when you have priorities, that those priorities are expressed in a way that you don't run all over each other either.